I think it's important not only to know what is it, but also to be aware how important it is, especially for students who are getting ready for the new world that is that is outside here, a globalized world, a business world, and everything. So public relations by nature is a global profession. So, and probably 30 or 50 years ago, the world was different. A lot of countries were more concerned about themselves and being closed and being protected and safe. Now everything is different. We open the doors and the windows and everything for everything. So what before were the publics related to the country, now is the publics related to all the countries around the world. A lot of businesses are global, and not only businesses, also non-for-profit organizations, governments. Nowadays, for example, Hillary Clinton is doing a lot of things to change the image of this country. So we are not only talking, but outside the country. So we are not talking only about publics inside, but publics outside ourselves. And we have to be aware of that, and we have to get ready for that, because it's not only important. The first step is to be aware. First of all, MSU is one of the most, or the largest universities with largest international, not only students, but also faculty members. So students who are interested in having a taste of how is it outside, how is it in other countries, they can just talk to professors, talk to other students, and ask questions and be curious. And the other part is the study abroad program. That is a very easy and right there program that they can take advantage of, because is not only that they are taking classes in another country, they are going to another culture, inside, within, and they can feel it. And that is important, because in general, professionals have to have a taste of the world, have to have this broad perspective of how is it to be in the world, especially for the US, because I think American students and American professionals, they have an extra responsibility, because a lot of people are coming here from around the world. So you have to be ready for not only going to another country and be successful within other cultures, but also being here and being aware of the differences, because we need to communicate and we need to intermediate. That is the role of PR. Be aware of the context, be aware and understand the publics. So we have to start being curious, start this job being curious and trying to understand the others. I think there are generic principles that in order to achieve them, we have to take into consideration the differences between cultures. So, for example, successful PR. What is excellent or successful PR? And when you talk about that, you have to think about the strategic thinking, strategic management, the empowerment into the, the staff of the organizations, and understanding the publics, and having a two-way communication, what some people call the symmetrical communication. So in order to achieve these standards of quality, you have to think about differences, different cultures and different publics and different ways of perceiving life. And so I think in order to, maybe you have a common ground, and the common ground is the excellence that you want to achieve. And then in order to get there in an international setting, you have to understand your international setting. And the first thing to do is to be aware of that, to be aware that things change in every single context that you are working in. Even in the US, if you go to California, it's totally another world. But if you go to Mexico, it's more different. So for whoever who is thinking, even if they are not thinking on going to a different country, it's important to get ready just in case. Because as I told you, it is not only that the students or the new professionals, that they are going outside the US. Other people can come here, so they have to be aware of the differences and they have to get ready for it. First of all, be aware of the importance of it. Second, be curious. And third, look for opportunities. Look for opportunities to broaden their perspectives and to understand other cultures. And for example, speak other languages. Try to learn other languages, because the problem is everybody wants to learn English because English is in the middle of everything, business, academics, and everything. So they don't have to do an extra effort because everybody is doing it. But if they do it, it's an extra. Also, if they know people from other parts of the world, talk to them. And how is it there? And how do you talk about this there? And specifically in communication, you have to understand the cultural patterns, because that shapes communication, and communication shapes the patterns. So it's an ongoing process. I think for PRSSA students, it's a very good opportunity to take to keep in contact, keep in touch with all the people who are already in the business, or people, faculty in their college and everything, and ask questions. And that is probably more important than the classes that they're taking, because the classes and the books are there, but also they have to be curious. They have to take this as part of their life. And because this is not about getting a job, this is part of our lives. People who are in communication and PR, they will tell me later, I know, but we live for this. It's not only a job, it's a hobby. So when you have a hobby, you are all the time thinking about it and you are really involved. And I see that students who are in the PRSSA, they are very creative and very dynamic, and that is a very first step, because then what they have to do is they have to keep having that attitude, because that makes a difference.